Hello and welcome to another edition of the Manager's Video Blog here in the city of Latrobe. I appreciate you taking a moment to join us and watch a short video. Just want to get you caught up on some of the activities going on here in Latrobe. We're beginning, at least at the administration level, to think about the budget year 2014, working on that. Recently the city received bids related to garbage hauling. We're looking at a 5-year agreement that begins in January 2014 and lasts through 2018. And that will contract for both residential and commercial waste as well as residential recycling. Very excited that we'll be able to offer at the beginning of January single stream recycling, which means that you'll be able to recycle everything from cereal boxes and toothpaste boxes and cardboard from like a pizza box to other kinds of products, newspapers, glass, plastic, all kinds of things that we've not recycled before. We're not only excited about the ability to do that, but we're going to be giving you a new, larger container. Every resident in town will get a larger container. And really the ideal is that the waste stream will be reduced because more things are going into recycling and being able to be reused. So we're very excited to do that. It's really, quite frankly, a part of the mission that we have in this town. The vision in our town here is that we're a neat, clean, and tidy town. The mission really is to provide the best services at low cost, to be able to provide those that vision, if you will, that we're a neat, clean, and tidy town. We like the fact that many of our residents are environmentally minded and have sustainability goals to really save money by lessening the environmental impacts of bigger landfills and so forth. So we're working on some of those issues right now. The big news for those of you experienced most recently here in Latrobe is the flooding that occurred. Most recently, we had a significant amount of rainfall in a short period of time. Those in the engineering world talk about number of year storms. Something is a 5-year storm, and that would mean that the percentages of that storm occurring would be basically 1% in 5 years. And that means it doesn't happen very often. I haven't quite heard what our most recent storm was, but it would seem to be a 10 or greater year storm. Many of our facilities, however, or many parts of town, it may have been greater. And I'm wondering if the area of Sulphur Run in the Dairy Township and maybe some other parts of Ridgeview Heights, some of the storm bursts, if you will, were even greater. Larger quantities of rain coming in a shorter period of time. I've had some people tell me this is the worst they've seen in 10 or 20 years. Some people said it's been 30 years since they've seen one this bad. Nonetheless, for those homeowners and businesses who suffered, it was bad enough, and no doubt. About probably 24 or more residents in Latrobe were negatively impacted. Many of them receiving a combination of storm and sanitary sewers coming up through their basement floor drains. Others having water come either through their yards or their properties and into their basements via storms, cellar doors or cellar windows or whatever they had on their foundation coming through, springs and so forth. Again, the damage was significant, at least 24 homes affected. I've noticed around town a couple of retaining walls have been compromised. These would be retaining walls that private residences have, some of them up on the hill, suffered damage from the storm. And the cleanup for some continues. For those of you who have items that you need to throw away, you're certainly welcome to take them to the transfer station, and you might want to consider that. I do know that there is some bulky item pickup that is offered by not only here in the city once a month for residents, but also some of the townships around the community have some bulky item pickup with their garbage hauler. But nonetheless, if you do the bulky item pickup, you want to make sure you put it in something that one person can pick up. Please don't put anything out on the curb that would require multiple people to pick up. The garbage person won't be able to get it into the truck. So keep that in mind. But again, you can take it out to the transfer station as well. The flooding that we experienced recently is just a to me, another example how important we must be focused on making infrastructure investments. Unfortunately, infrastructure is very expensive. When the town was laid out, there wasn't a lot of thought given to where we would be in the year 2013 as it relates to stormwater and stormwater management. We have in the past would culvert or cover over streams and bury waterways. That's not an acceptable way to do development. Unfortunately, that's though what we're built upon. Many homes, many businesses in this town are built upon waterways. And as the water finds its way, it always wants to go to that low point. And those waterways, those pipes, those culverted streams, like a human artery would be over time, have become clogged, virtually impossible to clean out without significant expense or rebuilding. Quite honestly, I think we need to have an honest discussion about going forward. We should have a 50-year plan in a city like Latrobe, one of which we would daylight each of those streams. We would identify the buried streams in town, and over a 50-year period be committed to as properties go for sale, acquire those properties, and over time remove those properties and eventually daylight the stream. That's a very radical step, but to be honest with you, to continue to ignore the problem, to pretend it doesn't exist is not acceptable. We really can't, for a mile or two, just simply, rotor the pipe. We really got to rebuild the pipe, and while we're at it, why not daylight the stream, allowing for natural buffers, riparian buffers to be reestablished, vegetation to go back in, and allow the natural lay of the land do what it was designed by God to do, which is to accommodate these large storms. What we find is there are frequent flyers as it relates to the people who have flooded basements and have flooding issues. It's very predictable where the water will go. It will go to the low points. It will find the path of least resistance, and gravity will channel it into homes, into streets, into basements that are at the basin low point. It's predictable as well that under that is likely to be a culverted stream. And it's kind of sad, but over time, again, it might be 50 years, towns like Latrobe should have a vision to daylight those streams and really reintroduce the natural space. That's really the only way we're going to be able to handle it. We don't have the money to continually rehab, rebuild properties in areas that are flood prone. Certainly the expense for those homeowners and the inconvenience and the danger to their persons and property isn't acceptable to live with. We can do better than that, and I think it's good to have a discussion about what's feasible in the short run and what should be the long-range vision in this town. So, unfortunately, have events like most recently here that cause us to kind of look at how we do things. Bear with us. There's going to be a lot of cleanup work that's going to continue. A number of our catch basins are full, if you will, of material. We need to clean those out. We have to rebuild a couple alleys and some other areas that were washed away. So it's a project, one of those ones that you can't predict, but nonetheless, that's what the city's here to do. It's protect people and property, and from time to time to repair after large storms like that. With that, I would encourage people who do listen to this to call me, to contact me. I love to go out into the parts of the city and experience firsthand how it looks from your viewpoint. Certainly it gives me an education about the challenges you face. And I welcome comment too on this idea of a 50-year vision. What would it take to restore natural waterways in a city of Latrobe or any other town, and how's the best way to go about doing that? With that, please send me an email. Feel free to call me, and of course, you're always welcome to come to council meetings. Those are the second and fourth Mondays every month here at City Hall at 6:30, and I look forward to talking to you someday. Thank you.